And before we start talking about it, Devin, hit us with some facts and information.
Yep, this is directed by Clint Eastwood. It stars Clint Eastwood, Kevin Costner, Laura Dern. The kid is TJ Lothar. I don't think he acts anymore. And Bradley Whitford's in there as well. Not a lot, but he's in there. Because of Clint Eastwood's shooting style, he's a one-take director. You get one take and you're done. You're done for the day. You're quick. You go. He doesn't say action either. He just says, okay, go. He'll say go whenever you're ready. And then they'll just do the scene. Very calm. But because of that, in a 6-month period, they filmed it, edited it, and released it.
In 6 months?
In 6 months.
That's actually very impressive.
Yeah, because it's just like, I mean, you don't got that much footage to go through. You got like 1 or 2 takes of every scene, basically. Yeah. So,
wow.
It's the kind of, also, he doesn't have like you don't have to hit your marks in his movies. You just do the scene. You know, he doesn't give you marks like at this point, you don't do this, you just go. He did really want Denzel Washington at first. He was trying really hard to get Denzel, but Denzel was like just super busy at the time. That was like peak Denzel. But this is also peak Kevin Costner as well. This is like right after Dances with Wolves and everything. So yeah, that's really all I could find. This movie actually made $140 million.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm actually shocked that I had never heard of this movie before we found it.
He had so many movies coming out during that time. Kevin Costner could have just got lost in that fog. Like there was like a 6-year span where he was having like 2 or 3 big movies a year coming out.
It opens up with Kevin Costner. He is a criminal. He is in prison. His name is Butch Haynes, and him and his cellmate are escaping from prison. Then you got Clint Eastwood's character, who is a Texas Ranger named Red, who assembles a crew of people, which consists of his partner, an FBI agent, also the guy that drives the truck that he gets from the governor and all this kind of stuff. So he has his own crew as they go on a manhunt to hunt down Butch Haynes and the other guy named Terry that escaped with him. His fellow escapee, Terry, is just a horrible, just scummy, disgusting, creepy piece of garbage human being. And the movie establishes that very quickly because he breaks into a woman's house who is a Jehovah's Witness. She has a small family of kids, no husband. He breaks in there and he gets a little, let's just say a little touchy. Kevin Costner's character, Butch Haynes, sees that, busts in, throws him off of her. In the midst of that scuffle, their gun gets dropped and a boy walks in named Philip, and they take off, taking the boy Philip as a hostage. Now, it's important to note all that because the rest of the movie is basically the journey of Butch Haynes and his kid Philip as they evade the law and develop a relationship together throughout the course of the movie. That's kind of the overall plot of the movie. Now I figure what we'll do next, because I definitely don't want to spoil the ending, because I do feel like this movie has a pretty good emotional payoff at the end, so I don't want to spoil that. But we will talk about some scenes, and we'll talk about some character interactions and some of the characters in the movie. So what do you want to get into first?
I really like Laura Dern's character in this. I think she's a really strong female character. I really like her a lot.
She was, I forgot to mention her. She's the prison expert that joins Clint Eastwood's team.
Yeah. So she's like really done her research on Butch. Is that right?
Yep, Butch.
She's really done her research. Like she knows her stuff.
Yeah.
And there's that scene where they're in the RV and she like goes into the mind of Butch.
Yeah.
And she like acts like she is Butch. Like what would I do here? What would I do next? And then like the police start questioning her as she's almost like dove into like his mind and acting like him. That's one of my favorite scene in the movie. I really like Laura Dern's character in this. I'm also a big Laura Dern fan, just really big fan.
What's some other movies she's been in?
Jurassic Park, Blue Velvet, things like that.
Yeah,
Marriage Story.
Kill somebody else?
Saw a Ford coupe I couldn't resist, so I took her for a spin.
Hell, that ain't no big deal.
That's what I thought. But the judge didn't. He gave me 4 years in Gatesville.
There's kind of 2 sides to this movie. There's the scenes with Kevin Costner and Philip, and then there's the scenes with Clint Eastwood and his crew. I definitely enjoyed the scenes with Kevin Costner and Philip overall more. I felt like those scenes were more meaningful. The Clint Eastwood scenes, besides that one scene you mentioned, there really wasn't a lot of substance there.
It was just like, where do we go to catch him next?
Right.
That's really all it was.
Exactly.
Like, what's his next move?
Yeah, exactly. But what I really enjoyed most about this movie was the development of the relationship between Kevin Costner and Philip, and their interactions with each other throughout the movie, because they actually had a lot in common, and Kevin Costner almost kind of turned Philip into his little outlaw partner as they were.
I think he sees Philip. I think he sees himself in Philip because they had a lot of similarities growing up.
Yeah. Philip's dad ran out on him. Kevin Costner, Butch's dad ran out on him, so they definitely have that similarity. And I think Butch's dad was also abusive too.
Yeah, that's why Kevin Costner always gets so mad anytime he sees like an abusive parent throughout the movie.
Exactly.
I like when they rob that store and they're manipulating all those women in that store, like making them like, oh, we're like this sweet family. Yeah. Philip starts getting a little on the criminal side.
He does.
He likes to rebel now.
Yeah, he does.
Because he was in the Jehovah's Witness, so he never really. He felt like a little sheltered a little bit.
Yeah.
So now he is. Yeah. I'm gonna start stealing.
Buzz, you little shit! Shoplifting is a crime.
Up to you, Buzz.
And by the way, Kevin Costner's character, just kind of explain his character a little bit more. Very smart, very level-headed and calm most of the time, unless, like he mentioned earlier, unless he sees somebody like abusing a kid, then he freaks out. But most of the time, he's very calm, cool, collected, level-headed, even when the law's chasing him. Very smart, very charismatic, smooth talker, good with the ladies. So he's just that kind of character. I guess an anti-hero type character. He's not like full bad, but he's not full good either. He's kind of he kind of blurs the line.
He is a killer. He's not a great person, obviously, but there's something good deep down in there.
Red and his crew that are chasing Butch, they're in like a camper type vehicle that's attached to a pickup truck. At some point in the movie, Philip and Butch decide to double back and go back the direction they came from, because I guess in Butch's mind he's like, oh, well, this will really confuse the law if I do this. They won't expect me to do this. So as they do this, they end up passing Red and his crew on the road, and they don't realize that it's them. And Butch sees the truck and he's like honking at them to get them to honk back so that Philip can, have a little fun and see a truck honking back at him. In the process of them doing this, Laura Dern's character looks out the window and sees Philip in the car in his Halloween costume and realizes that it's them. So they turn around and they give chase to Butch's character. Now, obviously, they're driving a freaking pickup truck with a giant ass camper connected to it. So you're not going to be very mobile. This idiot driver goes off-road with them, and the freaking camper unattaches from the pickup truck. And you see this camper rolling down this grassy hill and crashing into the woods with everybody in it.
Yeah, they all die. That's the ending of the movie.
What are you doing? I'm following a fugitive, fool.
I remember when Philip was driving that car, dude.
Oh, yeah. That was a fun. So you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Well, I guess the emergency brake or whatever gets cut off, or I can't remember, but the car starts like rolling down a hill and he's like, brake, brake, brake.
Oh. Step on the brake. Oh, hell of a job, Philip.
Because it's all about family when you're in a car.
Yes. Butch sees this as an opportunity when Philip does this to be like, oh, our brakes are not working. Can we ride with you guys? Because they're in this big station wagon. It's a husband and wife and I think it was 2 kids. And then he ends up stealing the vehicle from them and leaving them on the side of the road.
Yep, that's the end of the movie, dude.
So yeah, needless to say, Butch is a very complex character. He's obviously not a great person, but he's not like a terrible person either. He's got, there's a good dude in there. He develops this deep bond and relationship with Philip. I did like, and I didn't mention this, I did like that when the movie first opens up, it actually briefly shows a bit of a scene from the climax without spoiling anything. It shows Butch in a field.
Oh, yeah.
So it kind of teases the end of the movie before the end of the movie. Obviously, Clint Eastwood, anytime he's playing a lawman, that's the role
he's Clint Eastwood in this movie. Yeah, I'll be honest, you don't really care about his character much. There's not much backstory. He's just a police officer trying to save this kid,
Right. So as far as Kevin Costner goes, I thought his acting was great.
Oh yeah,
in this movie.
It's always good.
These types of roles are the roles that he excels in.
Yeah, not Waterworld.
So what are your overall thoughts?
I kind of feel about this movie the same way I feel about every Clint Eastwood directed movie I watch. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. I've never been blown away by any movie he's directed. Even like, I know he won Best Picture for like $1 Million Baby and Unforgiven.
Yeah.
I like those movies.
Yeah.
I'm not blown away by those movies. I like them.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel the same way about this. I think it's just very solid.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd ever watch it again. It's not something I'm going to come back to and be like, oh, I want to watch that again. But I think it's really good. And I think it's worth watching, that one time.
But yeah, I pretty much feel the same way that you do. Like, it didn't blow me away, but I did like it. I enjoyed the ending, but I think it's a keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is one I want to keep. And this one was brand new. I actually had to pull the plastic wrap off of it and everything. So it's a really fresh and clean tape. So that is it for today's episode of VHS Voyage on A Perfect World. I'm Matt.
I'm Devin.
We'll catch you guys next week.